Hey, Minifash. 1st of February, 2019. Trying to get on here to share this stuff, man. It's getting tough. A lot of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on. The spiritual warfare is absolutely heating up. There's just no way around it. Venezuela, if you didn't see the video I did a couple days ago, I put it on the other channel, the Many Fishers channel. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But you'll want to look at that because I was led to see some pretty crazy things. The white horse, Revelation 6, the bow, the crown, all these things. And so this video that I'm doing now kind of plays off of that in a lot of ways. Because that stemmed from a Bible verse. It actually stemmed from Proverbs 26:27. Okay, that was the Bible verse that I got that led me down this really interesting kind of trail here. The Proverbs 26:27 that adds up to a 53, which reminded me of the Super Bowl, as well as Isaiah 53, which that's a whole nother subject matter. But the stone, okay, so the 53 and the stone are what made me think of Georgia, the Super Bowl 53, the guide stones. So that's where I went, and I found these places. I mean, it's just crazy. I searched Georgia stone or something of that effect, and it brought up this place as well as the Georgia guide stones, okay? Now, this is crazy. These are in Georgia, everybody knows it, but this place here I don't think is very well known, Stone Mountain, okay? And I had the white horse on the Venezuela thing, and then on this mountain right here, check this out. There's 3 horsemen. It's just crazy, man. It's like the largest relief or whatever in the world. And you got these 3 horsemen here, all right, in Georgia. This is like really close to Atlanta, actually. It's on the 33rd parallel, which is interesting because Atlanta's on the 33rd, LA is on the 33rd, and the game itself is on the 33rd day of the year, which is interesting as well. A lot of 33s. But yeah, you see this here. That's the opening to the stadium that I'll get into that in a second, but I wanted to just lead you up to this here. And it plays into some more scripture as well as we go along here. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What a place that is, I'll tell you. All right, there's a million places we could go. But if you watch the last video, I talked about the crown, the wreath, the diadem, okay? And this also resembles a flower, very much so. So we have all this symbolism in this one building. It's crazy. The triangles, the pyramidal symbolism everywhere. The Mercedes emblem itself is extremely interesting. And this retracting roof that they have, okay? This is an oculus. I mean, in their own description, it is an oculus because that's what it is. And it is an eye because that's what an oculus is. I mean, if you literally look at the definition, okay, it is an eye. That's literally what it is, a circular opening, especially one at the apex of a dome, a design representing an eye, as a funerary pottery found in megalithic tombs in Europe. An eye. So they have an eye that retracts in their stadium like a serpent eye. But if you look at the stadium, it also looks very much like a flower. It could be like the blooming lotus flower that they give us a little peek of in I Pet Goat there, okay? The 2 that become the 1, the split apple. So we have all these things going here. The oculus we could look at in many ways. You have to wonder, okay, if it's supposed to be a round, in a dome structure like we have here in Washington, D.C., okay? And up inside of that oculus, we have what's called the apotheosis of George Washington, which literally is an ascension without judgment. And he's up there playing with all his pagan Roman friends and little creatures and what have you, and having a good old time because, they don't have to face judgment. That's the lie. Surely you will not die. So, you have that symbolism there that's just crazy obvious. And you know it's true, because why would they name this building in New York the Oculus? There's nothing round on this building. It's because it's an eye. Literally, the serpent eye. Keeping an eye on their altar, the One World Freedom Tower, right? So this is just steeped in occult symbolism. Now the emblem itself, that's pretty nuts, because what it led me to understand about it is pretty wild. If you take their emblem, the Mercedes-Benz emblem, on its face, it's a star, essentially. That's what it is. An isotoxal star, or polygon. It's all mathematics. This is what the world teaches. But in reality, it's magic, it's alchemy, it's sorcery. Okay? And they do it through their math. They give you a base of fake math like gravity, and make fake formulations for the theory and build everything off of that. And the math works because they're the ones who created the base. You understand what I mean? So they're building off a lie from the beginning. You got to understand this stuff. 3-3-3-3. So all these things, but what it truly is and represents is the triquetra, which is an interesting little symbol here. It's 3 Vesica Pisces woven together, which my understanding is that this represents the prison, okay, of the mind, the body, and the soul in the flesh without Christ. No redemption. You understand? That's what that represents, and it's interesting that they are Vesica Pisces, footballs. You could call this the 3 strands, the 69, if you will. And that's literally what that represents. Okay? And it goes further than that, because you know how the stadium was shaped basically like a flower, and it opens like a blooming flower? Well, this triquetra is an intricate part of the flower of life. There you go. It's everywhere, okay? The Vesica Pisces, the triquetra. It's all the same occult garbage. Without Christ and without His blood, there is no remission of sin. It's that simple. Therefore, judgment. Therefore, death, because sin equals death, okay? You need Jesus Christ. It starts and ends right there. And we could go on further, because there's a lot more. Mercedes itself means mercy, right? Now this is just weird in and of itself. The Virgin Mary, the Mary of mercies, they always go back to the idols, right? But Mercedes actually means mercy. And one of the Bible verses I got this morning was really crazy, you guys. You got to get a load of this. Exodus 33:19. It's the 33rd day of the year in 2019, and he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. Okay? Mercy. Mercedes 33:19. I thought that was really crazy. And we could continue. I did want to show you this one. Somebody emailed me, and I thought this was really kind of a very good observation on his part, and I want to share it with you. It's the Rams logo and the Patriots logo, turned 45 degrees clockwise, each one of them, and they form a 9/11. You can see it right there. I mean, the kid I'm sorry I don't remember your name, whoever you were, but I appreciate you sending it. 9/11. And it's obvious that those two pieces, that red hat there, are segregated purposely. And that's pretty obvious. So there you go. Oh, and there's another thing that I need to show you. This is crazy, guys. This is what happens. I mean, it's so much I can't even explain to you. This came across my path. This is the Amazon. Okay, just think about this. Amazon Super Bowl 53 commercial right here. Okay? Not everything makes the cut. I'm not going to play it, but I'll link it. All they're doing here is showing all these instances where Alexa caused problems and hacked into people's bank accounts and made things break. It blew people out of this hot tub. I mean, literally just blows them out of the hot tub. And it's all funny and all laughing. But they have one big secret that Alexa did that they're not going to tell anybody about. Not us. And what was that? Oh, Alexa took over the power grid. And then they go as far as to show it to us from fake space, okay, with the fake astronauts, which kills me because you see these things, right? You know it's a commercial, and you know it's fake. It's a commercial. But if I were to put a NASA logo in the corner, people believe it's real. It just blows my mind. But I digress. So you have the Alexa causing blackouts and taking over the power grid in the whole eastern part of the United States. Coincidentally, at 11 or 111, in the video. And what caught my eye on this was just crazy, but this is what happens to me. I actually saw in this 2-second little clip right here an image inside of this, right? Now remember, this is the East Coast, okay? And I got to show you this because I just have to. Here's the East Coast, same position that space station is in. This Cape Cod, Long Island, D.C. Right out here in the ocean is a place called Babylon Canyon. Babylon, okay? Right here. And I took a screenshot of this Amazon right there, okay? Same place. Babylon Canyon. You got... Oh, man, this is just nuts. What do you see right there? Before I show it to you. That is a dragon. Or a demon, but I'm calling it a dragon. You can see the horns right here, clear as day. It's the top of its head right there. The eye, the nose, the top lip, the mouth wide open there. I'll zoom it in, and I'll give you a comparison, because that's what it is. This is the kind of things that happens, you guys. This is a spiritual war. This isn't like funny little geeky guys in cubicles thinking it's funny to put this image in here. This is a spirit. I mean, look at that. Look at the horns on this thing. The Chinese dragon. The nose. The open mouth with the bottom lip right there. See that? The top lip, the bottom lip. Horn. The horn. It's as clear as day, you guys. That is crazy, crazy. And it's in an Amazon commercial for the Super Bowl 53. Okay? So, I gotta share this stuff. And I know I ramble and bounce around a little bit, but this stuff is real. This is a spiritual war that's coming to a theater near you. And if you're not prepared, if you're not in Christ, sealed in His blood, I'm telling you, you're gonna lose the war. You're gonna lose. So seek Jesus first. Always. And keep looking up. Peace and grace to y'all. Many fish.
Journalists know that there's some things you don't write about and you don't talk about because you'll lose your job. And that's where the control is. And that's why they pay anchormen like Dan Rather $2 million a year. Because he doesn't question them. He knows that if he goes against them, he's going to lose $2 million a year. Do you think a man that looks pretty and sits in front of a TV camera for the 6 o'clock news is worth $2 million a year? No way. I don't care how long he works and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world. so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus. I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets. And they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. It's sad. It's really sad.
Is there any room in a kind of society where these manipulations are not taking place for this type of entertainment or any type of entertainment at all?
If people understand that a game is a game, if people understand that nobody, no matter what they do, is worth paying $2 or $3 million a year for.
Hey, Houston, we've had a problem here. Can say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem.
Mr. President, in 12 hours I will destroy Washington, D.C. with this giant laser.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
That's okay. I'm never coming back to this planet again.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God,